The Raptors come up short against the Dallas Mavericks, 102-98. I'm Randy Urban, and this is Raptors Night Cap. Tonight we're joined by Sherman Hamilton, Jack Armstrong, and Paul Jones. Sherman, Raps were right there at the end, but there really isn't a lot of room to make mistakes against a team like Dallas when things go down to the wire. What did you see in those final moments?
Well, I saw Dallas is a really, really good defensive team. They've really tightened down on that end of the floor, and it's it's a testament to Jason Kidd and understanding what Dallas needed to take that next step. And they really made life difficult for the Raptors. And as much as the Raptors have shown that they can stay in games and they can hang around and they can give themselves a chance to win, against a quality defense like Dallas, those opportunities came few and far between. And you got to tip your hat to them. But, the Raptors got, I thought, at times some pretty decent looks. I mean, Fred took a deep three, which he had hit one just a couple possessions before. The look from Chris Boucher, could they have moved the ball? Yeah, but it's not like he took a three that was someone was draped all over him. So they're two pretty good looks, and Dallas did what they're supposed to do, clean up on the glass. So, at the end of the day, the Raptors, I thought, did a good job of bending. They got to a point where Dallas was trying to extend their lead, and they didn't allow them to do that. And, Nick had to come back with Fred early in the fourth, earlier than usual. But it's just another example of when you play against those teams that are just that much better, how your margin for error is so much slimmer. And the Raptors really struggled against that team in Dallas that had a great defensive mindset.
And to Sherm's point, Randy, the Raptors have been in a lot of close games. They've had tonight was their 21st clutch game, as the NBA defines it. Score within 5 points, less than 5 minutes to go. They're 10-11. And when the game is one possession, less than 3 points, with a minute to go, they're now 7-9. So they're in these games. And it's that fine line between, do you win these games and are you really elite? I mean, in the championship year, in these games, they were 17-6, number one in the NBA. Or are some of your guys still learning? To Sherm's point about Chris's three, it was a good shot. It was a makeable shot.
He was open.
But do you drive it? Maybe see if you can get something better. And I'm not second guessing. I love the look. It's a shot that he can make. But I'm just saying, these are the small, as Sherm said, the margin of error, the small things in close games that you really have to hone in on. Jack, as a coach, is nodding his head from a detail standpoint.
Yeah, Jack, so what did you see? Because, I'm watching this game and the flow is not really there. It's just kind of a weird game for me. And yet, you're on the road against the top 2 or 3 defense in the NBA, and you've got a shot to win or to go up by 1 at least, with 20 seconds and then 10 seconds to go. Like, do you take solace in that, or how do you sort of talk to your team after a game like this?
Well, I think Sherman Jones, he hit the nail on the head. I mean, you're right there. And, you made a good point, Randy, about you're trying to figure out where you're at as a team watching the game. And obviously without Gary Trent and, Ken Birch, it changes the complexion of how you play. And to me, your margin of error grows so slim. And I've always been a big believer, when you're on the road, your offense has to be that much better. And there are just so many, you look at the possessions and you really dig down deep. And I'm not a numbers guy whatsoever. I just watch Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet tonight. They didn't shoot the ball very well tonight. Now, what percentage of that was just them having a tough night? What percentage of that was the fact that there were not enough people around them to really, the defense have to concentrate on them, and now they get better shots. And both of those guys shot below 50% tonight. So to me, I think the Raptors right now, they're playing 7 guys. I think they're playing to the best of their ability. They're playing their hearts out. They're playing well. The games are exciting. They're fun. I enjoy watching them play. I feel good about where they're headed. They're just undermanned. And the reality is their margin of error is very slim. And then when you take two starters out, it makes it really difficult. And the question is going to be now, between now and the trade deadline, what happens? I mean, really, what happens? Like, where do they go from here? Like, what, I don't know the answer. I just know that what I'm seeing, I like a lot. I just know that they're coming up a little short because of those reasons.
Yeah. Sure. So then, Jack mentioned Fred, and he, off night for him. Was Dallas doing something to stifle him, or can you just chalk this up to, you have games like this? I don't even remember the last time he had a game like this.
Well, I think it would be unfair to Dallas to just chalk it up to a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
However, some of that is in play. I mean, Fred had some makeable shots that we're used to seeing him knock down. They didn't go in, and those are going to be nights like that you're just not going to find the same kind of rhythm. And give Dallas credit. I mean, they used length on Fred. When Fred got into the middle, they weren't going for the fakes. They were staying upright, making sure that he'd have to shoot over the top, not fouling him. And I think that's a discipline of Dallas's defense and how good they've been as of late. But Fred, he plays a lot of minutes. He plays hard. He plays defense. There are going to be nights like this for Fred, and it's few and far between. But the bounce back is there for Fred. And even though he didn't shoot the ball well, he still made a pretty big three down the stretch. And that's what I love about Fred. He might not be having the greatest game, but in the fourth quarter, if there's a play to be made, he's going to be involved in doing something to help put his team in position. So, yeah, it's one of those games, you throw it away, you move on. And Fred has shown us and given me enough trust to believe that a game like this isn't going to happen very often.
Jonesy, let's talk a little Doncic. He's so interesting and fun to watch because, obviously he doesn't jump the highest. He's not the fastest guy in the league, but he has 41 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, and he controls the game, and I think he's defending a little bit better now as well. Just when you look at him, why is he so hard to stop? Like, does it seem like you could do different things, or is it just like, well, if he just misses?
I think it's his pacing, he's unflappable. And tonight before the game, in my own head, I identified 3 keys, and Jack hit on one of them when he said, on the road, your offense has to be good. Dallas, they came into this game 9-1 in their last 10, right there with Memphis. This is 4 in a row for them. I thought the Raptors offense had to be right on. I thought they had to play with some pace, maybe try to get the game going up and down, and then Luka wouldn't handle it that much. Maybe, you employ the strategy of the old 7 seconds or less Suns, where you have their defense was their offense because they got the other team taking the wrong shot at the wrong time with the wrong guy from the wrong place. Toronto couldn't do that. And then I thought you're going to have to control Luka. And it's cliche to say it, but it's true. You don't rattle this guy. You don't speed him up. He goes through his moves and reads the game with the calm of a 15-year veteran. He gets to his spots. I mean, you watch him on TV all the time. You know what move is coming. I mean, he left Scotty on a step back that Scotty couldn't even defend, and he hit a big 3. He just understands what to do, and he sees the floor. And then, as you said, Randall, with his size at 6'7", you can't just throw a double team at him. He'll pick you apart. He'll make the right pass, the right play. He'll step through it. They hit a corner 3 tonight late in the game where he stepped through a double team at the top, one dribble, threw it to somebody in the corner, wide open 3 that went down. So the kid understands the game. He is already a great player in this league. And I just think the fact that he's got this calm, alert demeanor on the floor with the ball makes him that much more difficult to stop. You saw the Raptors played box and 1 against them. It didn't help. Like Nick tried to junk it up. The guy ended up with 41 and 14. So think about it. With all the points that they scored, he scored 41 of them. And then he was responsible for at least another 28 with 14 assists. If some of those are threes, the guy's responsible for 70, 75 points in the total. That's tough to stop, man.
Yeah. And the no-look alley-oop, a lot of people, their no-looks are like, they're kind of half no-looks. This was like legit looking the other way and threw it perfectly in the air. Like, that is hard.
It is. It is hard. He does hard things and makes it look fairly easy.
Yeah.
I think he's got the rare combination as well as when you talk about size, we're usually talking about a level of athleticism that other players don't have. He doesn't have that, but he's got the size, he's got the smarts, he's got the touch, he's got the vision, he's got the strength, he's got the footwork. Like the list goes on and on and on. And in a league that sometimes can be dominated by athleticism, to see that kind of skill level execute consistently, he's not jumping over anybody. He's just maneuvering and reading and breaking down and outsmarting every defense that you could throw at him. So he's a pleasure to watch. I mean, the kid is absolutely phenomenal. And it's interesting because Dallas, to me, they have some great pieces around them, but it's still not right there as a championship team yet. So can you imagine when those pieces are around him with the defense that they play, with this guy at the hub making plays for you? They're going to be really, really hard to deal with.
Jack, was there a Raptor performance that stood out to you tonight in a positive way? I thought OG had some nice moments,
He did. He kept them in it at good moments. And, to me, I just think his, we talk about a guy like Luka, the physicality, the strength, the toughness. I think OG has that. And when you play, so many games this time of year, to me, as much as finesse matters, you got to have guys that are strong and tough and durable and can make plays when they're really tired. And to me, I thought OG did some really good things tonight with that. I mean, he shot the ball. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he shot it 50% tonight. And he had a good game. And, you could pick a few areas of OG's game and say, well, he can get better at this. He can get better at this. I look at him, and for me personally, I look at him from when he was drafted and where he is now. I'm super impressed with where he's at. Is he there together, all there as a player yet? No, he's not. But am I super impressed with where he's at compared to where he started? Yes, I am. And I like where he's trending. I like where he's going. I know the person. He's smart. He's tough. He's dependable. He's mature. And I feel like when you add another piece or two that's healthy on the roster, he'll be that much better, because I think they're asking a little too much of him. I think they're asking a little too much of Fred and Pascal Siakam, whoever. I just think right now they're just a byproduct of the margin of error is very, very slim. But when I look at Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet, I think they're playing the best basketball of their career. I look at a guy like OG Anunoby. I'm seeing a guy that's really taken a major step compared to where he was when he started. And it's not about them, quite frankly, right now. It's about the other guys doing it. And to me, I think if you have a Gary Trent tonight, if you have, Ken Birch, I think if you have one other guy like doing something, those guys you're going, oh my God, they're all stars. And that's right now the challenge for the Raptors. And that to me is why the trade deadline is so intriguing of what, Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster decide to do.
Yeah, good stuff, guys. I got to stop you there. Really appreciate you doing this. Raps will try to regroup on Friday against the Washington Wizards. Tip-off goes at 8 p.m. Eastern. We will see you then.